wherever they can. I think Gary Gates doing a great job of reestablishing it as a national prominent program that impacts the growth of the game. And yeah, they're going to Denver. They're on the road for the next 6 games, and it's not because of March Madness is taking over the Dome. It's because they're playing a great national schedule.
It's definitely not March Madness in the Dome. Let's go down to Jess Todd.
Both headmen on either side, fellas, and Jerry Burns said it's almost like a post defense out there. We love our physicality, jamming guys up, beating them to the spot. We've got to keep rolling with it. On offense, like how we're spreading it out, using our speed to run by guys. They're trying to hold slides. Got to keep doing that as well. And the Syracuse end with Gary Gate said, the offense is just a matter of getting reorganized. We got away from us a little bit, settle down, and we'll be totally fine. On defense, love the physicality. Keep the foot on the gas. Face-offs, fellas. Adam, you mentioned being about 50-50. Keep an eye on the wings here. He's confident that his guy, Johnny Mullen's going to get back, win a couple more cleanly. On the wings, they're walling off the Harvard wings, I should say, to let him try to get some open lanes going straight down the middle.
Well, unfortunately for Gary Gate, he's 0 for 1 here in the third quarter. Clean win for Umansky, and he lost his stick. Doesn't matter if you lose your stick as long as you win the ball. Harvard ball.
Running Joey Spolina out of the box, he's doing some substitution to get the defensive midfield in. Here's Ip, Arndt, and Perry. Long slides here. You see they switch the matchup to Bowen to Perry. Early shot, high to low, maybe a little rushed, but he put it on Cage.
Good ride trying to start against the clear. Actually forces the turnover. Not just a good ride, but a great ride. Harvard has made life difficult for the Orange trying to get upfield.
2 possessions in the first minute here in the third quarter. Couldn't have started any better for Coach Byrne. And Harvard here, Spidell's up in the midfield. I think when you move players around, regardless if it's by accident or on purpose, it creates a defensive reaction. And here's John Arndt with the long dodge.
Arndt going against the short stick of Bowen. In and out of the stick. Malone, doorstep, congestion. And this is a Syracuse ball.
They're calling that a pass. Arndt was wondering whether he should pick it up. He's yelling for the substitution through the midfield.
Jimmy McCool had 5 saves in the first half. Graham Stevens had 6 saves in the first half. It felt like more. Several of those were doorstep saves. And Syracuse is quick reflexes away from, quite honestly, having a 7-6, 8-6 lead.
I don't think Syracuse got enough shots, to be honest with you, and I think Harvard was able to do what they want. Once they realized they got to put it in the midfield, they were able to do that. But I think Syracuse is struggling to get Finn Thompson involved, and they're getting a lot of standstill shots. They're not getting downhill dodging shots.
Gary Gate talked about too many turnovers against Harvard last year, needing to take care of the ball, needing to have longer possessions. Too patient?
I don't know if patient, but they're really trying to be maybe a little, maybe you're right. Too fine is what I was going to say, and how is that different than patient?
Shot clock down to 22. Ball with 22. Spolina faked over the shoulder, went low, missed, behind the back, loose ball. 13 on the shot clock, picked up by Roa. Shot clock down to 5.
Spolina froze to Koenig.
Behind the back, Finn Thompson. That is fine. It's 6-5.
Spolina had froze to Koenig with that behind-the-back fake, and Thompson finally gets himself on the score sheet with a behind-the-back off the feed from about 7 yards. You don't do that unless you practice it. That was an excellent finish by the Toronto native.
That was like the 9th behind-the-back pass and or shot of the possession, by the way.
You see how quick the ball was in and out of his stick. He doesn't even cradle. He just kind of like catches it and redirects the ball behind his back.
Syracuse wins the face-off. Jess Todd, you got Gary Gates' reaction on that?
Gary Gate.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Gary Gate was excited, needless to say. After Finn Thompson makes it a 1-goal game.
Pass down, pick downs here in the Syracuse offense to get these midfield shooters free.
Leo has the shorty of Picorni. And another one! Better passing for the Orange, tied up at 6. 3 minutes into quarter 3.
That's 2 goals off 2 feeds, and the ball wasn't in the shooter's stick for more than a combined half a second. Hoddle, the in front of your back version of what Finn Thompson just did. You see the long feed, skips the defense. Hoddle just redirects that low to high.
Typically with Wyatt Hoddle, you're worried about what he's going to do with the ball and his speed and being able to beat you.
Calvert Hall native, so much skill and so much speed. He's really tough to defend, but all of these Syracuse players on offense, if you give them room, they're going to put it on Cage.
Umansky violates. It's a Syracuse ball again.
Here's the adjustment. They're running Thompson out of the midfield. He played attack the whole first half.
Orange goal scored by number 19, Wyatt
Said it in the second quarter. Played midfield against Maryland last week, so he's done a little bit of both. Gives you some different looks on offense. Spallina trying to get a pick and lose to Koenig. Anderson on the shorty. Runs by Jensen, gets absolutely licked. And another goal for the Orange. The physicality doesn't matter. Running by Harvard and bench pressing in celebration.
You see, when you take Thompson and you put him in the midfield and then run him in front of the cage, you're creating slides off of the shooter. And you can see Muller's trying to look to help, and as he takes one step, that's a great feed in the phone booth there. That's a 2-yard feed. The shot was longer than the feed was, and Thompson is getting off here. Great start to the second half.
No timeout. Jerry Burns going to let his guys play here, surrendering a lead. Baracco in, wins the faceoff after Umansky had violated. Baracco goes to Cage. Saved by McCool. Luckily for the Crimson, they keep possession.
Orange goal
Cobry runs out of trouble there, gets it to Malone. You see what Harvard does? They're going to slow it down, get their defense off, get their offense on here. The Long Island midfield's getting on here, not the seniors to start the second half.
It seemed uncomfortably unsettled. And you're okay with Baracco taking that shot if he feels like he has it, but also the situation of the game, I think, necessitates having a good possession.
Agreed. And here you go, Peterson off the wing against a short stick. This is Bogan, the two-way midfielder out of McDonough. The freshman doing a great job.
Cortez has Bonino on him.
Spidell, that's Green in a wrestling match in front of the cage.
Spidell was looking for him. Decidedly, Jackson Green was not open. Sets the pick for Malone. Figueres stays with him. Now Spidell around GLE. That's off a body of McCool.
I think that hit him right in the face.
Cortez picks it up and hits it right in the back of the cage.
Great ground ball. We were talking in the first half about Cortez. Is he the Dodger? Is he a finisher? Is he the adult on the midfield? That was a very adult play there. He picks up that ground ball in traffic, takes 2 more steps, and just blasts it by McCool. Here you can see the Lucy right there. Cortez gets through the long stick, puts that second hand on and just rips that thing at Jimmy McCool. Nothing he could do.
First goal of the season for Francisco Cortez. And it at least settles you down if you're Harvard.
Watch the wing play, Joel, just like you said earlier. Let's see what Syracuse is doing with the wings. Looks like there's a pre-whistle violation here. And here come the seniors, Ip, Perry, and Arndt. I'd like to see Andrew Perry get some action here, put him on the high wing. They've been running Ip, who draws the pole out of the middle to force a reaction. We'll see what happens, but that was a huge goal. Kind of gets Syracuse off the tracks a little bit, but we'll see what they can do here.
That was Umansky back in there after Baracco took the prior face-off. It'll be Angelo instead of Mullen next time for Syracuse. Turning, shot, score! Question mark for Cobry. And Harvard's back in front by a goal.
We have said Arndt and Perry all game. You can see the alley dodge for John Arndt. Draws the slide, throws the skip pass. Teddy Malone very casually hits Cobry with that right on the doorstep. Great finish from the second-year Bristol, Rhode Island native.
Out of Loomis Chafee. Only played 7 games last year as a first year. Only took 7 shots. But was on everyone's radar in the offseason.
He had a great high school career. Coach Byrne mentioned it in the early season conversation. Spent a lot of time in the weight room. Really kind of grew up, got real physical, gained some confidence. You can see he's doing a great job. They needed it right there. Harvard now back up by 1.
Good fight by Drew Angelo with the Syracuse ball. We are 6 minutes into the third quarter. You could have convinced me it's been a year.
After a great first half, so far the second half is just as good, maybe a little bit better.
Hoddle by the short stick, slows it down.
Those are two kids in a rock fight there, 88 and 19. They're just going to keep running into each other for the rest of the afternoon.
Anderson and Kelly. Bear Anderson is 240 pounds that the freshman Quinn Kelly has to deal with. Spallina loses to Koenig for a minute, now slid onto a short stick. Matchup that Syracuse wants. Spallina can't get to his right, went behind his back, and the ball's going to be picked up by Harvard by Wyatt Wiggins.
Talk about a cagey ground ball there. He just kind of flicks it away.
And tip your cap to Owen Guest.
Owen Guest, I've always been a fan of his. He's a 5-star. He's done a great job, but you can see the whole defense was looking at Spallina there, and just great ground ball play by Wiggins.
First midfield line is in, as Arndt comes trotting last. Ip. Arndt. Now here's Malone. 6 goals against Colgate on Tuesday. He's been quiet today. Quick pass out in front. That's a broom shot. Just scraping the turf, and Cobre couldn't send it home.
Great job by Malone. He had the freshman Jaden Kittleberger on him there. That is a green light. If you're a senior and you're getting a freshman, no matter how highly touted out of high school, with great opportunity, Cobre almost put that in the back. That would have been a huge goal for the Crimson.
Weird pass by McCool. Just threw it into the turf. Could have caused an issue if Harvard had more people back on the ride. Syracuse has Bogue Hahn on this midfield line, working with McEntee and Roa coming in off the bench. Roa with 2 first-half goals. Finn Thompson with 2 second-half goals for the Orange. Spallina comes up top. Anderson wide. Shot. And Stevens, chasing it into open space, will quickly retreat to the safety of the crease. We'll get a free timeout here at the next dead ball. McEntee in trouble, shoots high. Stevens got a piece of it. Harvard wants a flag on the push. It will stay with Syracuse. And a fresh 60 on the timer. This is a long time, Adam, to be playing defense.
And you saw the official on the far sideline. He went to go grab the flag. He did not throw it.
And it will now be a Harvard ball. Crimson just happy to get a breather for your close defenders.
Longer possessions for both teams here in the second half. And you can see, especially Syracuse playing Kittleberger. That's a new player to the rotation here, trying to get some rest for their legs.
Number
along
5
with
in
the
blue.
movement with Thompson into the midfield. Some new opportunities here for the players. No slide to Malone here.
Going one-on-one against number 11, Figueres. He scores. Teddy Malone's first of the day. Punch for punch, blow for blow. Harvard leads by 2.
When I thought about coming to Harvard, I was super excited. The possibility alone would make my heart start to beat and get this feeling of wow, I'd be in the East Coast. And can I afford that? My name is Trading in Human Developmental and Regenerative Biology with a secondary in Global Health. And I love that I get to study something that I grew up really wanting to explore, especially now being pre-med. The reason I want to go to medical school is mostly because I want to help populations like the ones I came up in. In Casa Grande, I'm one of the only people who've been able to attend Harvard, and so getting to show my peers and younger students within the community that I care so much about what it's like to attend this university, what it's like to pursue higher education in general, has been something unique for me. Tuition and all the grants that I've been able to receive have been super helpful. Having that support has been such a relief.
I want to thank the Harvard lacrosse team and coaches for welcoming me to their team. I can't wait to come cheer and support the team at games and practices. I know that with each other, we can do anything we set our minds to. I've always wanted to have brothers like you guys, and I'm so excited to be a part of the brotherhood. Thank you, Team Impact, and thank you again, Harvard lacrosse team.
Two-goal lead for Harvard, but Adam, you talked about Bogue Hahn coming in. His father, one of the all-time greats at Maryland, but I want to give props to his mother as well, because Helen Marie, also a phenomenal lacrosse player at Maryland, and I felt bad making Gary Gate feel old this week, because I said, Gary, do you remember her as a player? And is she the first person that you have coached both parent and child of? And he sat there and thought about it and went, yeah, I guess that's true. She was on his first team at Maryland when he was an assistant back in 1997.
Gary Gate has impacted the game in general. Let's just say lacrosse, period. But I love that reference. And that time at Maryland, they were loaded up. It was the late 90s. They were going on championship runs. Unfortunately, they ran into the monster from Princeton. But I've said it earlier. I remember his dad, Matt Hahn, played with a friend of mine, Andrew Whipple, behind the cage. They were I think Andrew was one of the first guys, and once again, I'm not a Maryland guy, to start that number one tradition.
It was 7 consecutive women's lacrosse championships that Maryland won back in the day. Then Northwestern came along.
And a player, Kelly Amante,
from here,
played at Maryland, started that monster at Northwestern. So it's a small world in lacrosse if you look hard enough.
2-goal lead here for Harvard with 4 and change left to go in the third. Syracuse is the number 1 team in the country. You don't panic in situations like this. They've been here. What's going on that bench right now?
I think they're just looking for more opportunities. Knowing Syracuse and how they go about their business, it's an opportunity.
That's another putback dunk. Harvard wants a goal out of it, and that is a goal. Cobrey, for the second time today, the Crimson off a rebound.
Cobrey, Spidell, right in front of the cage, right place, right time. Arndt right off McCool, loose ball in front. Cobrey just does what he's supposed to do as the youngest guy on the floor, in my opinion. He should do the dirty work for the older kids. That is a big time goal right now, putting Harvard up 3 with just under 5 minutes in the third quarter.
Landed in the crease, but it was Billy Dwan that pushed him into it, so that was the question initially. But it is Cobrey's 6th goal of the season. And the violation called against Umansky will give Syracuse position. I think we've had more violations at the face-off X today than we have had wins.
Violations at the face-off X and great riding and clearing are bringing us to where we are. A pretty close game that's going to come down to a great ending.
Harvard is 9 of 17 at the face-off X today. They won 8 against Syracuse all of last year. That was 2 games with a lot more goals. Leo has the shorty on him. Senior Finn Picorni out of Darien. Gets in deep. Ball on the ground. Stevens picks it up. Outlets to McLaughlin, and the rookie clears.
Wow. His strides, he's like taking like 8-yard strides.
Had some speed, too. Eyes on the cage. And now finds somebody more comfortable playing offense.
This second half of the third quarter has been dominated by Harvard and just being much more deliberate on offense.
Well, there was that 3-goal run and 2 minutes where it felt like the momentum had turned. Tip your cap to the team in white because they put a stop to it.
2 of those goals are by Calvary. He's doing a great job, the youngster.
Art works behind GLE.
No slides to the short stick dodge yet.
What's that tell you?
They have belief in their system and who they are. But I don't know if they're going to have to make some changes if Perry puts one on the board right here.
Perry rips. Knocked down by McCool. Picked up by Syracuse. Bowen took a hard lick back at X.
That was Perry snapping a shaft on him.
How many sticks have we seen broken by Harvard on checks this year? That's at least 4.
In 3 games. Great atmosphere, Joel. Look at the fans here. They're all over the place. I think we'd get close to probably 4,500 if there was no snow.
I'm just going to say there's 4,500 people here.
I like that.
No. Leo up top, open, and scores. Couple of goals for Syracuse have come by midfielders just kind of getting lost in the sauce a little bit. They get left alone up top. Roa had one early, and Leo now here in the third.
Shooters shoot. The lefty gets time and room, and he puts it low offside. That's a tough save to make for Stevens, the big goalie. You see, he comes right off his shoulder. He's not dropping that stick below 3 o'clock. That's a great shot. Shooters shoot, and that's a great one.
The difference is now 2. But my goodness, Syracuse gets a late goal in the third to close it to being down by just 2. Number 1 team in the country finding itself down 3 on the road. Talked about this at halftime, Adam. When was the last time the number 1 team lost back-to-back games? Maryland and now Syracuse, if they ultimately falter today.
Parity is all over Division I lacrosse inside that top 10.
Umansky wins clean.
Orange goal scored by
So I think it's
number
interesting.
7,
Both
Michael
face-off
Leo.
guys, when you face off, it's almost a right-handed stance. They are both left-handed because each player switches their hands immediately when they have to carry the ball. I think that's pretty interesting.
2 guys that know each other really well. We haven't talked about it, but Massachusetts is the club that produced both John Mullen and Owen Umansky.
From the same team.
Yes. Umansky actually beat Mullen out at one point. Malone.
Great matchup here. You got your switch behind the cage from Malone.
Looked for Green on the doorstep, just missed him. Spadell, a good cleanup job. Cortez. 55 and white has a goal. He's usually the drink stirrer. Malone trying to bully his way from his knees, missed 5-hole. Loose ball picked up by Kaczynski. Nice save by McCool.
That was a great job by Malone and Figueres. That was a great kind of like save the day check by number 11 for Syracuse, kind of that aggressive top hand lift. Really surprised Malone could get that shot off as he's going to the ground.
I think Malone was surprised he got that shot off going to the ground. Percentage on you scoring if you're falling to the deck is what?
Not high. Not high. It's like when you dodge and you jump, there's only really one place you can shoot, and that's high. I got to imagine when you're falling down, your shot selection, the odds go down as well.
30 seconds to go in the third. Syracuse has outshot Harvard by almost 10 today. Spolina has only 1 goal. He had 4 against Maryland. He's got the short stick. Looks on the doorstep. Thompson has it knocked away. And there is no time left here in quarter number 3.